Welcome to the second in your Grounding Through Vinyasa series. So in this 45-minute Vinyasa sequence, we'll be looking at how to strengthen and stabilize the leg muscles in order to create more freedom of movement in the upper body. In particular, this sequence, we play with some twists and we build strength and resiliency in the hip stabilizers, the outer hip muscles, and the glutes and the hamstrings. Please feel free to modify as and where you see fit. Please feel free to use props if you have any of those at hand. Let's get started. So come on down to your mat into a semi-supine position. If you are working with 2 bricks, if you have them, you'll probably want them near the front of the yoga mat for now. And then as you come on down to a lying position on your back, take both of your feet as wide as your yoga mat. Lengthen your spine forward and tuck your chin's crease in. You might even want to manually elongate the back of your head behind you. Let your knees fold in towards one another. And take a few precious moments of stillness at the beginning of your practice to ground and clear your mind. Let the weight of your body feel heavy and supported by the ground beneath you. Tune into the gentle rising and falling of your breath, low in your belly. And really allow for that downwards and outwards movement as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, maybe feeling this sense of lightness as the abdomen lifts in and up towards the center of the spine. Now, the breath is the heart of the Vinyasa practice. We want it to initiate our movements, and we want the quality of breath to be smooth and continuous and oceanic sounding. So let's work on ocean breathing or ujjayi breath. Take your hands towards your belly. And as you breathe in, draw the breath along the back of your throat, nice and slowly, and then feel your belly rising. Feel the rib cage expanding. Feel your chest bones lift, slightly tucking in your chin's crease. And as you exhale, open your mouth wide and make a big long ha sound as if you're fogging up a mirror in front of your face. Pause at the end of the out breath. Did you feel that hugging sensation at the back of the throat? That's what we work with in Ujjayi. Keep the back of the throat hugging in, like the back glottis muscles are engaged. As you breathe in, you're drawing the breath along that smaller aperture at the back of your throat. Feel the belly rise, the ribs expand, the chest bones lift. Pause at the top of your breath. And this time with the mouth closed, we make the same ha sound as if you're fogging up a mirror just in front of your face. So as if you're kind of pinching a hose pipe, hugging the back of the throat, we allow the breath to brush along the back of the throat because it warms and humidifies the breathing and slows down the breath, particularly on the exhalation, which is really useful for enabling our practice to be grounding and soothing and calming. Take one more round of breath, practicing that oceanic sound. Good job. Now keep that breath fluid and continuous now as you separate your knees hip distance apart. Take your right foot onto your left thigh for figure 4. Keep the pelvis level and even, and manually rotate your right thigh away towards the right side to open up anything that feels a bit tight or sticky around the inner groin, the front of your hip. You can arch your tailbone towards the floor to accentuate the stretch and bring it a little bit more into the right glute. There should be no pain or pressure on your knees. You can either stay there or bring both of your arms around your left thigh or your shin. Make sure your shoulders, your bum, and your head stays heavy on the ground though. 2 breaths. Good, and then slowly release, switching over to the other side. So right foot on the ground below your sit bones. Take the left foot onto your right thigh. Try flexing your foot so your ankle is flat. And then manually massage the flesh of the left thigh away towards the left. So you're asking the thigh bone to externally rotate deep within the hip socket. Feel a bit of space in the hip as you kind of lift the thigh bone up, away from the pelvis and slightly to the left. And either stay there working manually with your hand or bring both arms around the right thigh or shin and gently draw your leg in. Arch your tailbone to the floor. And then take 3 really slow breaths here, keeping the chin's crease slightly pressing down. And we're just beginning to unravel tension here that many of us carry around the back of your glutes, the back of the buttock muscles. Maybe a little bit of tension in the inner groin can be released here as well, depending on what's tight for you. So often people think that tension or tightness and strength go together, and weakness is a sign of kind of lack of stiffness. But often the opposite is true. We can be tight and weak in a muscle. A healthy muscle is both able to stretch or to elongate, and it's able to contract. So we're going to be working the hips and the abdomen in both of those ways to build strength and flexibility together. Good. And then slowly release. Bring both of your knees in towards your chest. Exhale to squeeze the knees in. Now place your feet to the floor below your sit bones. Don't worry about whether you can touch your heels or not. You'll actually work your hamstring muscle a bit harder if your heels are a little bit further away from your bum towards the front. Press your hands down towards the floor and see if you can roll the outsides of your shoulder blades down so your chest puffs up a little. Press into your heel, your big toe mound and your little toe mound, and press your pubic bone down into the floor so your bum begins to lift up, and then press through the feet a little bit more to elevate your pelvis higher, lifting the hips into Setu Bandhasana, your bridge pose. Slowly begin to press into the left foot and lift your right knee up towards your chest, and then lift your right leg all the way to ceiling foot, one-legged bridge pose, Ekapada Setu Bandhasana. Then begin to exhale and lower your pelvis almost towards the ground, keeping the leg straight. Inhale to lift it back up, feeling that hugging action between the crease of your left glute and your thigh. Exhale again to lower smoothly down, hovering your bum, and inhale, press back up. Twice more. Exhale to lower smoothly down. Try and keep your left thigh really centered as you lift back up. And then one more time, lower down, hovering. And press through those 3 points on your left foot, heel, big toe mound, little toe mound to lift back up. Now exhale to bring your right leg forward, lining up your thighs. Lift the glutes a little bit more. And inhale to lift your right leg back up to the ceiling, and then lay your right leg down. Press into your right foot, lift your left knee, and then your whole left leg up towards the ceiling. Keep the hips level, shoulder blades flat down. Exhale to lower your pelvis smoothly down towards the ground, hover your bum. And inhale to lift back up. Again, exhale to lower smoothly back down and hover. And then inhale to lift back up. Exhale again, hovering. And then inhale back up. And then exhale to hover. And then inhale back up. And then bring your left leg forward, lining up your thighs. Keep lifting the glutes. And then lift your left leg all the way back up. And then bring your left foot back down onto the ground. Well done. So you lift your heels and roll down vertebra by vertebra, linking your spine back down onto the mat. Now bring your heels together, your toes out. So soles of feet are still flat on the ground, but your your feet are kind of taking up a dancer's position here. And then roll back up through your pelvis, lifting your hips back into bridge, but with your toes turned out at that angle. Stay here for a few moments, pressing through the heels of both feet, the big toe mound, the little toe mound, and feeling strength building around the outsides of the hips and the outer glutes. Holding here for 2. Nice Ujjayi sounding breath as you hold here for 1. And then bring your arms away behind your head and roll down vertebra by vertebra, feeling a nice release in your shoulders as well as your spine. And then come all the way down onto the mat. Really good. Bring both of your knees in towards your chest. Exhale to squeeze in. And then feet down towards the floor. Scoot your pelvis a little bit towards the right. Lengthen your left leg and bring your right knee over towards the left side. Reach your right hand to the right, coming into a supine twist. Good. Open up into the right side of your chest. Maybe feel a little bit of a stretch in the outside of your right hip. Good. And then come all the way back through to center, both feet down. Slide your pelvis 2 inches towards the left. Elongate your right leg forward, and then bring your left knee over towards your right side just for a kind of preparatory opening of the outside of the left hip, left side chest. We save those longer, deeper stretches for the end of the practice when the muscles are warm. But here we're kind of unwinding tension and kind of postural habits that we need to unravel before we get going into the asana practice. So not really massive deep stretches here, just gently realigning your shoulders and your chest so your body is pretty centered and neutral and open, ready for the practice. Good, and then come back through to center. Recenter your bum in the middle of your mat. Now, if you've got a sore back, you're welcome to roll to the side and come up into a seated position that way. Otherwise, hold onto your knees and take 3 rocks forward and back through your spine until you come up through to a seated position. And facing the front. Now, you guys might not need to swivel around. I'm going to swivel around so I can see you. We're going to come into Sukhasana to begin. So a cross-legged position, but rather than my heels being in the middle, see if you can slide your feet right towards the edge of your yoga mat until your heels are below your knees. Press your inner calf forward so your calf muscles are wedged up, forming a straight line in front of you, and you can see a large triangle of mat between the legs. Now, it can be helpful to sit on a folded blanket here or on a yoga block, or you can simply place your fingers behind you, fingertips pressed down, and then lean your body's weight forward. So you're rocking forward into the front ledge of the sitting bones. Thighs become a little bit heavier, and you can almost point your sit bones away behind you. So your lower back moves upwards. Now that might be a nice stretch through the outside of the hips and the outer glutes as you are. See if you can keep that alignment as you bring your left knee into the sole of the right foot. I'm going to mirror you there. So right shin is across the front, your left heel is below the knee, out towards the left side. Bring your right hand behind you and reach your left arm up. Imagine you're screwing in a light bulb into the ceiling, so the spiralic movement in the torso continues in the arm. Then bring your left hand to the outside of your right leg, index finger and thumb touch. Now you can allow this left thigh and glute to lift a little bit, so you've got this whole body spiral that's moving from the back toe to the chest to the crown of the head. And then turn your gaze serenely over your right shoulder, maybe angling your right cheek a little bit down to open the left side of your neck. Just take a couple of breaths here, maybe eyes closed. As you send the breath low into the belly, you might feel that gentle massaging effect as the diaphragm moves down towards the abdominal region. Good job. And then slowly make your way back through to center, just a brief counter pose. And then bring your left shin either back in front of your right shin into Sukhasana, or if you feel that you can add fire stack here, then you can place your left shin on top of your right shin, but just please make sure that your left heel is flat, your ankle is flat, foot is flexed. We're looking to just accentuate that outer hip opening again. There should be no pressure on your knees. And remember, we're just opening the body as a preparation for the more fluid movements and the more strength-based movements we'll get to as we move into the main body of Vinyasa. Okay, slowly release. This time, circle your left leg away behind you and come into a kind of moderate version of pigeon. And this can be as simple as right shin staying where it is, left knee moving out towards left side at the same height as your hip, and your foot is below your knee like this. And you can lean forward like this. For anyone with knee issues or just very tight hips, this can be a really nice variation for pigeon pose. If you're happy to go into more of a full expression of pigeon, remember we're just opening the body gently, don't go too deep. Hands out in front of you, roll the front of the left hip forward just a little bit and access some kind of opening around the right glute, maybe inner right groin here. Good, and then come back up through to center. Let's switch over to the other side. So this time it will be your left shin in front of your right shin for Sukhasana. Again, you're welcome to sit on your yoga block. But either way, hands behind you, roll your pelvis forward so your lower back lifts up. And good. Hopefully you can feel a little bit of an opening around the glutes and the groin. Really nice. And then slowly bring your right knee into the sole of the left foot. Right heel is below the knee there. Left hand behind you, reach your right arm up for Bharadvajrasana. Rotate through the hand, lift the chest, and then bring your right hand to the outside of your left knee, index finger and thumb connect. Now see if you can ground downwards through your thighs. Don't worry if the right sit bone lifts a little, that's fine. But then puff your chest up and find a nice open spiral through your body, finishing that with a little bit of movement through the neck as you tilt your left ear towards your left shoulder. Okay, breathe deeply here as you draw the tips of your shoulder blades together and down. Really opening and lifting the chest high. Keep pressing down through the base so the legs are active, enabling the freedom and the fluid movement of your spine. Good, and then come back through to center, bring both hands towards the right, and bring your right shin back in front. So either Sukhasana, right shin in front of left shin, or fire stack, right shin on top, and it might be different one side to the other. So rather than just immediately matching what you did on the other side, see what intensity level this side of the body needs. We want no pressure on the knees whatsoever, no twisting of the ankle. This opening really wants to be around the hip joint, outer glutes, maybe inner groin. Good. Really nice. And then slowly bring your right leg away behind you. And you've got that kind of quarter pigeon where you bring the right knee out towards the right side at the same height as your hip. Your foot is kind of below the right knee. And you can lean forward here like this. So you're heavy on the left leg, not much pressure on the knees. Or you can come into more of a classic pigeon shape here where you stretch your right leg right back behind the hip and sit bone. And maybe come down a little bit, but not too far. We're just priming the body for the movements we'll take in a moment. Good job. Okay, and then come back up through to center. Circle the right leg back around towards the front. And let's take a little bit of Navasana. So hold on to the back of your thighs, lift your chest up and lean your body back just for a moment. If you've got any issues in the abdomen, if you're recently postnatal, or particularly sore lower backs, then bring your hands behind you. And you can still work the abdominal core by coming onto tiptoes, and fingertips can support you behind your back. Otherwise, keep lifting the lower back up as you reach your arms forward towards the front. Maybe even lift your toes off the ground, shins parallel towards the floor. And then option to bring your arms all the way up towards your ear line, holding your chest high. And exhale, bring your arms forward towards the front. Bring your hands together in prayer position and actively press your hands together, which you'll feel will connect you to front core. And then exhale, knees are still hip distance. Move your chest towards the right side, pressing your palms together and kind of circling the elbows around towards the right. Inhale, come back through to center. Chest still open, spine straight. Exhale, pressing through the palms, turn towards the left side. If your belly is juddering, good. Inhale, come all the way back. We'll do that one more time. Exhale, over towards the right side. Chest open, shoulder blades down. Inhale, back through to center, and then slowly over towards the left. Now, can you feel your pelvic floor muscles are naturally lifting? Good. And then come all the way back through to center and bring your feet down. Well done. Both arms up towards your ears as you breathe in. As you exhale, arms forward, and then pull your right elbow back like you're drawing a bow and arrow. Feet are pressing firmly into the ground now. Pelvic floor muscles lift. And bring the arm back through to center and inhale. Lift your left arm overhead, really aligning your chest up. Sternum bone points to sky. Exhale, bring your left arm forward. And then inhale, pull that left elbow back like you're drawing a bow and arrow. Imagine some resistance there. Good, and then come all the way back through to center. Cross over your legs, bring your hands out in front of you and come onto all fours. Good, okay. As you inhale, glide your chest forward towards the front, opening your throat. As you exhale, round your spine, roll your chin in towards your chest. Find neutral, which is halfway between those two extremes where the chest pulls forward, but the belly button slightly lifts into the lower back, pelvic floor muscles up. Good. And then turn your fingers outwards so the inner wrists face one another. Gently lean over towards the left side and then come back through to center. Gently lean towards the right side, just preparing the wrists for a little bit of weight. And then backs of the hands down to the ground. Thumbs point forward, middle fingers point towards one another. Maybe leave an inch between the middle fingers as you pull the elbows into a straight position. If you can't feel a stretch in the forearms, then curl your fingers into a fist, and I'm pretty sure you will. Good, and then slowly release. Circle through the hands, maybe shaking them out a little bit. And then inhale, right arm forward, left leg back. Lift navel to spine. As you exhale, pull elbow into opposite knee, curling into your center. As you inhale, lengthen back, away, and out. And then right hand down just in front of the shoulder line, pivot on your right knee, kicking your foot to the right side, left foot towards the bottom of the mat, supportive Vashisthasana. Slowly inhale, bring your left arm overhead, lifting your hips high into a nice curved shape. And then exhale, lift your left arm to ceiling and your left leg up parallel to the floor. Keep your lower hip lifting. Inhale, reach overhead. Keep the lower hip lifting in. As you exhale, hover your left leg parallel, lift your left hand to sky. Twice more. Inhale, make sure there's no drop or droop in the lower right hip. And then exhale, left leg parallel. Inhale, last time, find a nice curve. And keep the height in the lower hip as you lift up. Feel the outside of your hip and your leg get stronger. Good job. And then bring both hands back onto all fours. Same on the other side. Inhale, left arm forward, right heel back, but lift navel in. Exhale to pull elbow into opposite knee, curling into a tight ball, and then big inhalation, stretch back out. Bring your left hand down just in front of your shoulder line. Swivel on your left knee and tap your right foot towards the back of the mat, reaching your right hand up high. Bring right arm all the way overhead into a nice curve. And then exhale, hover your right leg parallel to the ground, flexing your foot, right hand to ceiling. Inhale again to arch open into a nice curved shape. Exhale to hover right leg parallel, lifting right arm to ceiling. Inhale, bring it overhead. Exhale, come back. And last time, make sure you're still lifting from the lower left hip. And then come all the way back through to center, right leg lifting, right hand to ceiling. Good job. Bring both hands back down towards the floor. Now here you can bring in your bricks. If you want to place your hands on your yoga bricks, the short end points forward, still space out your fingers, turn your biceps forward, make sure you're pressing through the index finger and the thumb, and you're distributing the weight into the fingertips rather than overly loading your wrist joint. Tuck your toes and straighten your legs all the way back into plank position. Bring your heels over towards the right side, so you're pointing your right outer hip to the ground. Feel that in the sides of your core. Come back through to center, and then over towards the left side, and then back through to center. One more time each side. Heels towards the right. Point the outside of your right hip down, back into plank, and then swivel heels to left and point the outside of your left hip towards the floor. Hold high plank here, shoulders back, chest forward. Good, and then back into downward facing dog. Good, now take a moment in downward facing dog. It's really lovely doing this pose with hands on bricks because it will elevate the front body, allowing you to load and stretch the back of the legs a little bit more. If you find that you're slipping, you're welcome to lose the bricks, hold on onto the side of the mat even, but think about lengthening the back heels towards the ground. Don't worry if they don't touch all the way. Inhale to bring your right leg away and up towards the ceiling, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, cross under the body. Feel that rotation in your core. Inhale to lift, right leg to ceiling. Exhale, bring your right foot between your hands, left knee gently towards the ground into low lunge. Inhale, bring both of your arms up high. Exhale, twist to the right, left arm forward, right arm back. Imagine you're gripping a pole between the tops of your legs. Inhale, come back through to center. Exhale, bring your hands back down onto your bricks. Step back into downward facing dog pose, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lift your left leg up towards the ceiling, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, cross under the body and tap. Inhale to lift, left leg to ceiling. And exhale, bring your left foot between your hands, gently dropping your right knee down. You want your feet on train tracks here. Inhale, bring your arms up towards the sky, open chest. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm backwards, coming into your twist. Inhale to lift both arms back up, recentering your chest. Exhale, bring your hands onto your bricks. Lift your back knee and step forward towards the front. Feet hip distance, which is about 2 fists between the feet. Inhale to halfway lift. Reach your arms back, chest forward. Exhale, forward fold, and bow your head down. Reverse swan dive, come all the way up through to a standing position, arms overhead. And exhale, Samastitihi. Bring the hands into the heart center and gaze forward towards an imaginary horizon line. With the feet hip distance or maybe a little bit wider, really feel your body's weight transmitting down into the earth beneath you and out wide into the ground. Half sun salutation to find our breath flow. Inhale, lift your arms smoothly and slowly up. You can add a back bend if you'd like. Exhale, forward fold, leaning your weight forward into the toes and the balls of the feet. Drop your head and look between the legs. Inhale to halfway lift. You can have hands on top of shins or reach your arms back alongside the outside of your hips. And as you exhale, forward fold, lean your body forward. Inhale, reverse swan dive. It can help to bend your knees, lift the chest, particularly if you've got a sore back. Lift the arms up overhead. And exhale, bring your hands into prayer position, Samastitihi. Let's come into classical sun salutation. Inhale, bring your arms up towards the ceiling, opening up your chest. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana. Allow your neck and your head to drop. Inhale to halfway lift, reach your arms back, chest forward. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Step your right leg back, right knee towards the ground into low lunge. Keep the back toe tucked and inhale, bring your arms up towards the ceiling, open chest. As you exhale, right arm forward, left arm back, active twist. Feel that in the side of your core, but hug your thighs into center. Inhale, back through to center, hands down onto bricks or the floor, step back into downward facing dog pose. Inhale forward into high plank, body parallel to the ground, wrist just in front of the shoulders, biceps forward. Exhale, drop the knees for this first one, lower halfway down so the elbows skim the sides of the ribs and then belly flat to mat. Inhale to cobra pose, thighs and pubic bone down, use your back muscles to lift your chest up. Exhale to lower back down. Inhale up onto all fours, elbows stay tucked in. And then lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale to lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring your right knee towards your left elbow, cross under the body and kick foot towards left side. Drop the back heel down. Inhale, sweep the left arm up or up and over, really pressing into the inner and outer blade of both feet. Circle the hand back down. Inhale, lift the right leg back, away and up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your right foot between your hands. And then come all the way up into high lunge position. Hug your thighs into the center line. Exhale, active twist. Lift arm forward, right arm backwards behind you. Hug your thighs towards the center. Inhale, back to the middle. Hands towards the bricks or the floor. Step left leg to front, feet hip distance. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up through to a standing position. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer. Let's do the same thing on the left. Inhale, bring your arms away and up towards the ceiling, opening your chest. As you exhale, swan dive, forward and down, hollowing your belly as you drop your head. Inhale to halfway lift, arms back, chest forward. Exhale, bring your hands towards the ground. Step your left leg back, left knee towards the ground into low lunge. Inhale, bring both of your arms up towards the ceiling, open your chest. As you exhale, split arms and chest towards the right side. Inhale, come back through to center. Exhale, bring your hands down. Step your right leg back, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, forward, high plank, body parallel to the ground. Exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into upward facing dog or your cobra. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, bring your left knee towards your right elbow. Kick the foot towards the top right corner of the mat and lower your right heel onto the mat. Reach your right hand up or up and over, fallen triangle. Bring your right hand back down and then slide your left leg back and up, three-legged dog. Bring your left foot between your hands. This time back knee stays raised. And inhale, bring your arms up towards the ceiling as you open your chest. Exhale, split right arm forward, left arm back. Hug the tops of your thighs towards the center. And inhale back. Bring the hands down to frame the front foot, right foot to the front of the mat, feet hip distance. And inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, bow your head down towards the ground. Reverse swan dive, come all the way up through to a standing position, arms overhead. Exhale, bring the hands into prayer position, Samastitihi. Now keep your feet hip distance apart. You're welcome to pop your heels on a block or lift the heels if you need. Let's come down into chair pose and really keep the thighs parallel. Exhale, bring your hands into your chest and just for a moment, hover your right elbow above your left knee, pressing the palms actively together. Come back through to center, keep pressing into your heels and then turn towards the
right side, hovering your left elbow above your right knee. Come back through to center, back into your chair position. Exhale, forward fold, straightening your legs and bowing your head down. Inhale to halfway lift, reach your arms back. Exhale, bring your hands down, step both legs back into downward facing dog pose. Inhale, forward, high plank, body parallel to the ground, heels back, heart forward. Exhale, lower, either drop the knees as before or chaturanga halfway down. Inhale into upward facing dog or your cobra. Exhale back into downward facing warrior one. Left heel down, toes point forward, right foot to the front. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up towards the ceiling as you open your chest. As you exhale, pull the elbows out wide towards the sides. Inhale to bring both of your arms back up. And then pivot on your left foot and come into a leaning lunge. So sweep both arms back behind you, back heel is lifting. Press, glide, and lift into your warrior three position. Left leg parallel to the ground here. As you exhale, bend your right leg and tap your left knee in towards your right leg. Inhale, extend your left leg back. It's really tricky if you've got a carpet under your feet. And exhale, tap and curl. Now you could be using blocks under your hands. You could even have your hands on the floor here if you're struggling for balance. Twice more, exhale, bend your right knee and tap your left knee in. You're building a lot of strength in your outer hip and your leg muscles here. One more time, curl and tap. Good, and then chair pose, both feet together. Sit low, inhale, bring your arms up towards your ears. And then hands to prayer position, right elbow to the outside of your left knee. So you're turning your chest towards the left. Your knees and thighs are pressing together this time. Good. Now keep a bit of contact, elbow to left knee. Push into your right foot and lift your left knee up away from the ground. Good. Really working leg strength as you find your balance. Wobbling is all good. See if you can lift your chest upright. Good. Maybe even take hold of the outside of your left foot and straighten that left leg as you reach your left arm back. Parivrita Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, revolved UHP pose. Good, now swing that left leg backwards behind you, right hand towards the ground or feel for your block, and take your half moon. Left leg is parallel to the ground. Try flexing your left foot and you'll feel more power from the outer left hip. Left arm reaches to ceiling. Good, hold it steady there for a moment. And then send your left leg right back to the back of the mat. Both hands down at the front. Drop your back left knee to the floor. Take a moment to feel the ground beneath your feet. Inhale to bring your arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands to prayer. Left elbow to outside right knee, revolved lunge. Now you can keep the back knee down or slowly lift your back knee away from the ground. Now if you imagine that you're hugging your thighs inwards, pressing into your right heel and your left toes, you'll feel that strength in your legs, allowing for more rotation and movement in your torso. Good, and then slowly come back through to center. Good, and press into the right foot and lift your left leg back into a warrior three shape. Now left hand to the floor or onto a block, revolved half moon. Reach your right hand up towards the ceiling. Keep the left leg parallel if you can. Good, keep turning the chest and hook that right hip crease back a little bit if you can. Amazing. Now visualize warrior two. Left leg right back towards the back of the mat, deep bend in your right knee and open up towards the left side of your mat, gazing forward over your right hand. Well done. Slowly hover your right arm inside your right leg and then let's do the left arm in front of the face and extend into side angle, Utthita Parshvakonasana. As you press your right knee to the right, push down into both of your heels and then lift your left rib cage and turn to the sky. Come back up into your warrior two position. Amazing, well done, both hands down. Step back into your downward facing dog pose. Take a moment. Big breath in, big breath out. Let's come into the other side. Lift your left leg up. Left side warrior one. Pop the left foot down, back heel flat, back toes point forward. And inhale, bring your arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, big ha sound as you pull the elbows out wide, feeling that nice opening in your chest. Inhale to bring your arms back up. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot and come into leaning lunge where your arms swing back. Chest forward, load the front left leg, really pushing into the heel so you feel your left glute and your hamstring switch on, and then press, glide and lift, warrior three. Again, option to place the hands on the floor or bricks. And then we've got 4 pulses. Bend your left knee and tap your right knee in. Inhale to stretch and lengthen, back out. Exhale again, bend your left knee, tap and curl. Inhale to lengthen it, back out. Twice more, exhale, tap and bend. Inhale and lengthen. And this time, bend, tap your knees, and then sneak your right foot left next to your left foot. Sweep the arms up towards your ears, chair pose. Press your knees together. Bring your hands into prayer position, and this time left elbow outside of right knee. Turn your chest towards the right side, gently hooking your left hip crease back if that feels okay for your body. Keep your elbow and your right knee connected. Push into your left foot and slowly make your way up into a standing position, finding your wobbly balance. See if you can lift your chest high, spine straight. Maybe even take hold of the outside of your right foot. Lifting your right arm up and maybe back into revolved Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Good. Lift the chest proudly, drill down through the left heel, and then swing right leg back. Dive your left hand down to the floor or grab a brick and open your chest and your pelvis towards the right side. Ardha Chandrasana, your half moon pose. Now keep pressing into the left heel and the ball of the left foot, and almost imagine that you're hooking the outside of your left thigh backwards. As you flex your right leg, your lifted leg, you'll feel the strength building around the outside of your hip. Hold it there for one more breath. Good, and then bring both hands back down to the floor at the front of the mat. Send your right leg way back behind you and gently drop your right knee to the floor. Inhale, bring both of your arms up high. Exhale, bring your hands into prayer. Right elbow outside of left knee and find a little twist. Good, try and be light in your upper body. The reason for building all this strength in the lower body is so that we can be more free and light in the upper body. Now lift your back knee if you'd like to. If you're straightening the leg, really straighten it high on the ball of the back foot. Good. And again, if you press into the left heel and the ball of the foot, can you feel that helps to rotate the outside of your left thigh down and engage more of that muscle and that connection between the glute and the hamstring? Good, well done. We don't want to be leaning into the pelvis here and causing more sway. We're trying to keep the body centered. Now gaze to the floor, maybe recruit a brick on its highest setting, and press, glide and lift, ready for revolved half moon. Right leg lifts parallel to the floor. Lift your left arm up towards the ceiling and really turn your chest. Good. Remember, strength in the legs creates freedom and rotation in the upper body. Beautiful work, well done. Slowly bring your left hand back down. Visualize warrior two before we go there, and then open up nice and strong. Deep bend in your left knee. Pelvis faces the far right side of the mat. Good. Take left palm forward and hover it inside your left leg. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling, that might be enough, or lasso the right arm in front of the face and find a long, clean, diagonal line from the right fingertips to the back heel. Turn your chest to the right. Keep pressing into the heel so you feel the sweeping under of your thighs. And then slowly make your way back into your warrior two position. Amazing. And then cartwheel the hands down to the ground. Step back. Downward facing dog. Now, if you have a little bit more flow left in you, feel free to flow. If you're ready to take a moment of stillness, toes together, knees wide to the side, reach your arms forward and bow your head down into child's. Really soften and surrender the weight of your body down into the ground in child's pose now. So our next pose will be pigeon, Ekapada Rajakapatasana. If you know that's not such a good one for you, maybe due to knees or hip tension, feel free to come into a low lunge, like a lizard-like shape. Otherwise, come up onto all fours. Let's bring the right knee behind the right wrist, foot towards the left side a little bit, and lengthen your left leg backwards behind you. Don't worry too much about how far forward the right shin comes. If you're not feeling any kind of stretch in the glute, that would be a good reason to bring the right shin forward. But if your heel naturally slides into the middle of the pelvis, it might be that muscular tension is causing that to happen, or it might be actually the shape of your hip joint. So as long as you're feeling a good release, a good stretch in tight areas around the right glute outer right hip, maybe inner right groin, maybe front of left hip, that's all good. If you start to feel pressure or pain in the knees, either of them, that's not what we're going for. Come out of the pose and take a low lunge instead. Either stay upright or bring the elbows down. Close your eyes and really soften into the sway of your breath, elongating the exhale with that lovely Ujjayi oceanic sound. Good. So we're really stretching the area that we were building strength in earlier in the practice. There'll be lots of blood flow going to that region. So should feel like a nice, good, juicy stretch now. Make your way up. Open your chest and gently roll onto the right sit bone. Bring your left leg over your right leg, coming into seated twist. Make sure that both sit bones are comfortably down on the ground. If they're not, move this lower foot forward so you can get both sit bones down, or grab a sitting block. So you've got your left knee up near your chest. I'll mirror you guys here. Then left hand behind you. If you feel there's restriction in the lower knee or that lower knee isn't coming down, straighten the right leg out in front of you and flex the foot. Reach your right hand up and again spiral the arm as if you're screwing a light bulb into the ceiling. And then bring your elbow to the outside of your knee and turn serenely to look over your left shoulder. This time your ears stay level, spine really upright. Breathe low into the belly. Ground down through the feet in order to create lift and space in the upper body. And then come back through to center and de-rotate towards the right. Good, back onto all fours and let's come into left side pigeon, or if you're taking the alternative, it will be left side low lunge. Bring the left knee behind left wrist, foot towards the right, those doing pigeon with me. Lift your chest, gently nudge right hip forward, left hip crease back if that feels good. Check there's zero pain in either of your knees. Feel free to add in props. You could put blocks in the spaces between your body and the ground. And then you can lean forward if you'd like to, but try and avoid the spine slouching. We want to lead with the chest, the heart center the whole time. Breathe so deeply. It's as if the breath is massaging the tight areas, the resistant areas in your body in this pose. Trust and lean into sensation. As long as it's not a sensation that feels sharp coming from the joints, that kind of strong muscular stretch in the belly of a muscle, that's all good. Lean into that, breathe into that. So much of flexibility and mobility is actually mind training. We're building our tolerance to withstand those strong sensations of stretch. We're telling our nervous system and our brain that it's safe to let go and to lean into that kind of sensation. Muscles work very protectively of the body, and that's a good thing, except when they're overprotective and it just creates unnecessary tension. So our practice is working out the wisdom of the body, knowing when it's overprotective or when it's safe to lean in. Slowly make your way back up through to center. Roll onto the left sit bone and bring your right leg over your left leg for seated twist, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Make sure both sit bones are down. Option to extend the lower leg out in front of you. Good, and then bring your left arm up towards the ceiling and again spiral the arm as if you're screwing a light bulb in. Bring the elbow to the outside of the knee and then turn to look over the right shoulder. Feel that sense of pressing down through the legs in order to rise up and rotate through the spine. Really elongate your exhale, listening to Ujjayi sound. And then come back through to center. Bring both hands towards the left, rounding your spine. And then spin both legs around towards the front and come on down to lie in your final resting position, Shavasana. If you have a bolster or a pillow or blanket nearby, you might want to slip that underneath the back of your knees. Maybe a flat folded blanket underneath the back of your head so you've got a slight double chin. It's a good thing in yoga. It means the neck's really relaxing. And give the whole weight of your body down into the ground now as you come into Shavasana. Visualize your energy moving both down into the earth, but also outwards, so you become bigger, more whole, more connected. Take in the sounds around you, listening without strain or effort to the smallest sounds that you can hear. Listen without labeling the sounds. Just feeling the texture of things emerging and things changing and then passing. And then also be aware of the spaces and the quiet between the sounds. Welcome to stay as long as your body needs in Shavasana at this point. If you're ready to close the practice together, bring one hand to belly, one hand to heart center, and take a nice strong and long breath all the way down towards the belly hand. And as you exhale, big ha sound out through the mouth, let it go. Good job. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Gently roll over towards the side, coming into the fetal position. Good. And then press your hands into the floor, kneeling or sitting, facing the front of your mat. Bring the arms up towards the ceiling as you breathe in. Interlace the fingers. Push the base of the hands up high towards the sky. Lift the chest. Lift the gaze. Reach up. And exhale. Bring your hands towards the forehead. Take a moment to align your mind, just as we've aligned the physical body. So the mind is open. It's full of poise, grace, integrity. And then bring the hands into the heart center. Bow your head forward and down, offering up your practice to someone or something else. Om Yasho Balam Astu. May there be strength and vigor in our practice and in our lives. Namaste. Thank you for joining.